Look at this fat one.
How can you touch him? It makes you feel goosebumpy.
What are you scared of? You was a worm once.
I was neither.
You was so, when the whole earth was covered with water and there was nothing but worms and blobs of jelly. You and your whole family was worms.
We was not.
Blobs of jelly then.
Counselor, that's simple talk. I'm going to tell my Connie's going to make you wash out your mouth with soap.
Your old man's a monkey. Bye, Lindy. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Mr. Meeker?
Who is it? Oh, hello, Raish. Yeah, look. Back home, are you? Sounds just starting.
Mr. Meeker, don't let my father know I came here.
Reverend, don't tell me his business. Don't know why I was mine.
I want to see Bert Cates. Is he all right?
Don't know why I should be. I always think the safest place in the world was in jail.
Can I go down and see him?
Ain't a very proper place for a minister's daughter.
I only want to see him for a minute.
Sit down, Raish. I'll bring you up. You took a duck right in the courtroom. Long as I've been bailiff here, nothing come but drunks, thieves, vagrants. That bad sketch you had that fell from Minnesota in the top of the flag. We had an extra in. How would you feel on top? Going off, Bert.
Hello, Bert.
Rachel. Told you not to come here.
I couldn't help it. Nobody saw me. Mr. Meeker won't tell. I just keep thinking of you walked up here.
You know something funny? The food's better here than in the boarding house, and you better not tell anyone how cool it is down there. I'm crying away every time.
I stopped by your place and grabbed some of your things. A clean shirt and a best tie.
Thanks.
Bert, why can't you tell him it was a joke? Tell him you didn't mean to break a law and you won't do it again.
Suppose everyone's all steamed up about Brady, huh?
He's coming in on a special train out of Chattanooga. Pa's going to the station to meet him. Everybody is.
Strike up the band.
Bert, it's still not too late. Why can't you admit you're wrong? If the biggest man in the country, next to the president maybe, if Matthew Harrison Brady comes here to tell the whole world how wrong you
You
are,
still think I did wrong?
why did you do
You
it?
know why I did it. I had the book in my hand. Hunter Civic Biology. I opened it up and I read my sophomore science class, chapter 17, Darwin's Origin of Species, and all it says is the man wasn't just stuck here like a geranium in a flower pot. That living comes from a long year, and it didn't just happen in 7 days.
There's a law against it.
I know that.
Everybody says what you did is bad.
It isn't as simple as that. Good or bad, black or white, night or day. Did you know on the top of the world the twilight is 6 months long?
But we don't live at the top of the world. We live in Hillsboro, and when the sun goes down, it's dark. And why do you try to make it different? Here.
Thanks, Grace.
Why can't you be on the right side of
Your
things?
father's side? Great. Love me.
I got to see.
Thanks, man. Sure.
Imagine, Matthew Harrison Brady coming here. I bowled for him twice. Once in 100, once again in 08. It wasn't old enough for the first time. My power sure did. I saw him once, down in a Chicago meeting down in Chattanooga. It was a weird horse, huh?
I don't know yet. I wrote to that newspaper in Baltimore. They're sending somebody.
You better be loud.
Do you want me to go back down?
No need. You can stay up here if you want.
I'm supposed to be in jail. I better be in jail.
Warming up for you, Miss Krabs?
The good Lord got us the heat and the good Lord got us the lens to sweat with.
But the devil ain't so obliging.
Well, I don't intend to find out.
Good morning, Reverend. Morning.
Good morning, Reverend.
Miss Krebs, raise the banner. Why didn't you raise the banner?
Hey, didn't drive her just now.
See that you have it up before Mr. Brady arrives. That's what we can do it, Reverend. We must show him at once what kind of community this is.
Right away, Reverend.
Indeed it is. Picnic lunch ready, Miss Graves?
Oh, fiddler for a king.
Station master's on 94's on time out of Chattanooga, and Brady's on board all right.
The minute Brady gets here, people are gonna pour and town's gonna flip like a rainbow on the flood.
That means business.
Wait, where they gonna stay? Where they gonna sleep all these people? Huh?
They got money, we'll sleep them.
Ah. This looks like the biggest day for the town since we put up God's army.
Yeah, everybody. Ted Finney's gotta have his big bass drum. You should see what they done at the depot. Ribbons over all the rain spouts.
Lemonade! Lemonade!
All ready, Reverend.
Hot dogs, get your red hots. Hot dogs, get your fans. Compliments Mary's funeral home, 35 cents. Howard! Howard!
Mom, this is just like the county fair.
Now you settle down and stop running around and pay some attention when Mr. Brady gets here. Spit down your hair.
Wow, warrior guys going darn alive.
Want a fan? Compliments Mary's funeral home, 35 cents.
I die first.
You're a stranger, aren't you? Do you need a nice clean place to stay?
I had a nice clean place to stay, madam, and I left it to come here.
Well, you're still gonna need a room.
I have a reservation at the mansion house.
Oh, I suppose someone's life's having a pretty crack in bedroom.
The plumbingless depths. Ah, Hillsborough. Heavenly Hillsborough. The buckle on the Bible belt.
Hot dog?
Well, now that poses a pretty problem. Which is hungrier, my stomach or my soul?
Are you an evolutionist, singer, infidel?
Ah, the worst kind. I write for a newspaper. Hornbeck, E.K. Hornbeck of the Baltimore Herald. I don't believe I caught your name.
They call me Elijah.
Oh, Elijah. Yes, I didn't know you were still around. I've read some of your work.
I can neither read nor write.
Oh, I must be thinking of another Elijah. Grandpa! What? Have you come to testify for the prosecution or for the defense? No comment? Why, there's the father of the human race.
All the members of the Bible may get ready. We must show Mr. Brady the spirit in which we welcomed him to Hillsborough.
Man, I live in Shield your eyes, Mom. You're about to meet the Midas of your descendants. A man who wears a cathedral for a cloak, a church spire for a hat, whose tread is the legion of the lion-hearted. What? You're missing the show.
Well, somebody's got to find a store.
May I ask your opinion, sir? On evolution?
I don't have any opinions there. That's for business.
Oh, sound the trumpet, beat the drum, everyone's coming down to see your competition mark a live friend in the Conagula, a high school teacher, wild untamed. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for Father. It's good enough for Father. It's good enough for Father. It's good enough for me. I took the secret children. It was good for the secret children.
My friends, and I can see that most of you are my friends from the way you have decked out your beautiful city of Hillsborough. Miss Katie and I are delighted to be among you. I can only wish one thing. that You'd not given us quite so warm a welcome. My friends of Hillsborough, you know why I've come here. I have not come merely to prosecute a lawbreaker, an arrogant youth who has spoken out against a revealed word. I have come because what has happened in a schoolroom of your town has unloosed the wicked attack from the big cities of the north, an attack upon the law which you have so wisely placed among the statutes of this state. I have come to defend that which is most precious in the hearts of all of us, the living truth of the Holy Scriptures.
No, Max, only dignitaries.
You are the mayor, are you not?
I am, sir.
My name is Harrison Brady.
Oh, I know that. Everybody else does too. I just keep your welcome ready, but somehow it didn't seem necessary.
I shall be honored to hear your greetings, sir.
Mr. Matthew Harrison Brady, this municipality is proud to have within its city limits the warrior who has always fought for us ordinary people. Believe most of this town wouldn't have gotten the vote if it wasn't for you fighting to give them all that suffrage. President Wilson would have never gotten to the White House and won the war if it wasn't for you supporting him. And in conclusion, the governor...
Thank you. Matt, you don't have a coat on.
Perhaps Mr. Child will formally pose. Who's the spiritual leader of this community?
That would be the Reverend Jeremiah Brown.
And the Lords. The Reverend at my left, the Mayor at my right. We must look grave, gentlemen, but not too serious. Hopeful, I think is the word. We must look hopeful.
And in conclusion, the governor of our state has vested in me the authority to confer upon you as honorary colonel in the state militia.
Colonel Brady, though I like the sound of that.
We thought you might be hungry, Colonel Brady, after your training.
So the members of Our Lady's Aid have prepared a buffet lunch.
Splendid, splendid. After you with a little snack.
You know, Mr. Brady, Colonel Brady, excuse me. All of us here have voted for a great time.
Well, I trust it wasn't 3 separate elections.
Hand me that report.
Oh, of course, Circuit District Attorney. We'll be a team, won't we, young lady? Quite a team. When I had some repast. What a challenge it is to fit on the old armor again, to test the steel of our truth against the blasphemies of science, to stand.
Matthew, it's a warm day. Remember what the doctor said, not to overeat.
Don't worry, Mother, just a bite or two. Now, who among you knows the defendant? Cates, is that his name?
Well, we all know, sir.
Just about everybody in Hillsborough knows everybody else, so.
Well, can someone tell me is this fellow Cates a criminal by nature?
Bert is not a criminal. He's good, really. He's just...
Wait, my child. Mr. Cates, your friend?
I can't tell you anything about him.
Rachel, my daughter will be pleased to answer any questions about Bertram case.
Your daughter, Rickman? Well, you must be proud indeed. Now, how did you come to be acquainted with Mrs. Cates?
At school, I'm a school teacher, too.
Well, I'm sure you teach according to the precepts of the Lord, huh?
I try. My pupils are only second graders.
Has Mr. Cates ever tried to pollute your mind with his heathen dogma?
Bert is not a heathen.
I understand your loyalty, my child. This man, the man in your jailhouse, he's a fellow school teacher, likable, no doubt. And you are loath to speak out against him before all these people. Think of me as a friend, Rachel, and tell me what troubles you.
Hey! Who's going to be the defense attorney?
We don't know yet. It hasn't been announced.
Whoever it is, he won't have much of a chance against your husband now, will he, Mrs. Brady?
I disagree.
Who are you?
Hornbeck. E.K. Hornbeck of the Baltimore Herald.
Hornbeck.
When this sovereign state determined to indict the sovereign mind of a less than sovereign school teacher, my editors decided there was more than a headline here. The Baltimore Herald is happy to announce it is sending 2 representatives to Heavenly Hillsborough. First, the most brilliant reporter in America today. Myself. Second, the most agile legal mind of the 20th century. Henry Drummond.
the agnostic.
I hear about him. He just got those 2 Chicago child murders off just the other day.
Vicious, godless man.
A Merry Christmas and a jolly 4th of July.
Henry Drummond for the defense. Well,
Henry Drummond is an agent of darkness. We will not allow him in the town.
I don't know by what law you can keep him out.
I'll have to look it up in the town ordinances.
Saw in a courtroom in Ohio. A man was on trial for a most brutal crime. And although he knew and admitted the man was guilty, Drummond was perverting the evidence to cast the guilt away from the accused and onto you and me and all of society.
Henry Drummond. Oh dear me.
Still see him, slouching hulk of a man, his head jumps out like an animal. No. You look into his face and you wonder why God made such a man. And then you know that he's not a man of God, that he is a creature of the devil. Perhaps even the devil himself.
Matt, bring in Henry Drummond to the defense.
Drummond? Henry Drummond?
We will not allow him in the town.
I think maybe the Board of Health.
No, I think we should welcome Henry Drummond.
Why? Welcome him.
If the enemy sends his blood into battle, it magnifies our cause. Henry Drummond has stalked the courtrooms of this land for 40 years. When he fights, headlines follow. If St. George had slain a dragonfly, who would remember him?
Would you care for these apricots, Mr. Brady?
It should be a pity to see them go to waste.
Matt, do you think?
Well, I have to build up my strength, Mother, for the battle ahead. Now what will Drummond do? Well, try to make us forget about the law, put the lawbreaker, and put the law on trial. But we'll have the answer from Mr. Drummond, won't we? Right here in some of the things this sweet young lady has told me.
Mr. Brady!
A fine girl, Reverend. Fine girl.
Rachel has always been taught to do the righteous thing.
Oh, I'm sure she has. Well, a toast then. A toast to tomorrow, to the beginning of the trial and the success of our cause. A toast in good American lemonade.
It's now time for Mr. Brady's nap. He always likes to nap after a meal.
We have a suite ready for you at the mansion house. I think you'll find your bags already there.
Very thoughtful, considerate of you.
If you'll just come with me, it's right across the square here.
I want to thank all the members of the Ladies' Aid for preparing this nice little basic repast. And if I seem to pick my food, I don't want you to think I didn't enjoy it. But you see, we had a box lunch on the train.
Mr. Meeker? Mr. Meeker! Hurt, can you hear me? Hurt, you have to tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
I am advised. I'll remember the rate. 10% off to unmarried young ladies. And discuss a discount to the clergy and their doctors.
What are you doing here?
I'm inspecting the battlefield the night before the battle. For it's cluttered with the journalistic camp followers. I've scouted myself an observation post to right. Wait. Why do you want to see Bert Cates? Which he to you, or you to him? Can it be that both beauty and biology are on our side? Wait, there's a newspaper I'd like to have you read, just arrived, from the wicked Sodom and Gomorrah. Baltimore. Not the entire edition, of course, no. Happy Hooligan, Barney Google, Abe Bill. Merely the part worth reading. E.K. Hornfest. Brilliant. It's a little symphony of words. You should read it. My typewriter has been singing a sweet, sad song about the Hillsbury heretic. B. Case. Boy Socrates, latter-day Dreyfus, Romeo with a biology book. I made the ransom butter. but I am on your side, Fred.
You make it sound as if you're a friend of Bert's.
Much as a critic can be a friend, anyone.
Of what?
Don't worry. I'm not the circa little Eve. This isn't from the tree of knowledge. You won't find one in the orchards of Hillsborough. Birches, beeches, butternuts, a few ignorance bushes. No tree of knowledge.
Will this be published here in the local paper?
And Weekly Bugle, or whatever they call the locals, the local linotypes. I doubt it.
It would help Bert if the people here could see this. It would help them understand. I never would have expected you to write an article like this. You think so?
Cynical. That's my fascination. I do lovable things for which people hate me, and hateful things for which people love me. I'm both poles and the equator with no temperature between. I'm admired for my detestability. I'm the friend of enemies and the enemy of friends.
You make it sound as if Bert is a hero. I'd like to think that, but I can't. A school teacher is a public servant. I feel he should do what the law and the school board want him to. If the superintendent says, Miss Brown, you're to teach from at least second grader, I don't feel I have reason to argue.
Ever give your pupils a step quiz on existence?
What?
Where we came from, where we are, where we're going.
All the answers to those questions are in the Bible.
All? You feed the youth of Hillsborough for a little truck garden of your mind?
I think there must be something wrong with what Bert believes if a great man like Mr. Brady comes here to speak out against him.
Matthew Harrison Brady came here to find himself a stump to shout from. That's all.
You couldn't understand. Mr. Brady is the champion among ordinary people like us.
Wake up, Sleeping Beauty. The ordinary people played a dirty trick on Colonel Brady. They ceased to exist. Time was when Brady was the hero of the hinterland, water boy for the great unwashed. But they've got indoor plumbing in their heads these days. There's a highway through the backwoods now, and the trees have reluctantly made room for their leafless cousins. The telephone poles, Henry's, Lizzie's, rabbits in the town, leaves behind me yesterday and beside, standing in the road alone in a cloud of flivvered dust. The boob has been debooed. Colonel Brady's virtual small towner has been had by Brady and Montgomery Ward.
It's gonna be a hot night, Mr. Clayton.
I thought we'd get some relief from the sunlight now. Oh, hello, Devil. Welcome to hell.
Sundays.
That's good enough for us, Your Honor. We will accept this man as a member of our jury.
One moment, Mr. Bannister, you're not excused.
Oh, I like that there front seat in the jury box.
Don't hold your horses, Bannister. You may get it yet.
Ah!
Mr. Drummond, you may examine the veneerman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bannister, how come you're so anxious to get that front seat over there?
Well, everybody says this is going to be quite the show.
I hear the same thing. Ever read anything in a book about evolution?
No?
Or about a fella named Darwin?
Can't say you have.
Well, I bet you read your Bible.
No.
How come?
Well, can't read.
Well, you are fortunate. You'll do.
You may take your seat, Mr. Bannister. Mr. Meeker, will you call forward the 12th and final jury member?
Your Honor, before we continue, will the court entertain a motion on a matter of procedure?
Jesse H. Dunlap, you're next, Jesse.
Will the learned prosecutor state the motion?
It has been called to my attention that the temperature in this courtroom is now 97 degrees Fahrenheit, and it may get hotter. I do not think the dignity of the court will suffer if we remove a few superfluous arguments.
Does the defense have any objection to Colonel Brady's motion?
I don't know if the dignity of the court can be upheld with these golluses I've got on.
We'll take that chance, Mr. Drummond. Those who wish to remove their honor coats may do so.
It was the counsel for the defense showing us the latest fashion trends in the great metropolitan city of Chicago.
I'm glad you asked me that. I brought these along special. Just so happened about this at Peabody's General Store in your hometown, Mr. Brady, Weeping Water, Nebraska.
Let us proceed with the selection of the final juror.
Name the occupation.
Juicy H. Dunlap, fireman, and a cabinet maker.
Do you believe in the Bible, Mr. Dunlap?
I believe in the holy word of God, and I believe in Matthew Harrison Brady.
Prosecution.
Very well. Mr. Drummond?
No questions. Not acceptable.
Does Mr. Drummond refuse this man a place on the jury simply because he believes in the Bible?
If you find an evolutionist in this town, you can refuse him.
Your Honor, I object to the defense attorney rejecting a worthy citizen without so much as asking him a question.
All right, I'll ask my question. How are you?
Kind of hot.
So am I. Excuse.
You are excused from the jury duty, Mr. Dunlap. You may sit down.
I object. And note of levity, which the counsel for the defense is introducing into these proceedings.
Mention agrees with you in spirit, Colonel Brady.
I object to all this damn colonel talk. I am not familiar with Mr. Brady's military record.
Well, he was made a colonel in the state militia the day he arrived here in Hillsborough.
The use of this title prejudices the case of my client. It brings forth a picture of the prosecution astride a white horse ablaze in a militia colonel uniform with all the forces of right and righteousness marshaled behind him.
Well, what can we do?
Great thing. Make him a private. I have no serious objection to the honorary title of private grade.
We can't take it back. Authority. Well, I'm sure the governor won't have any objection to this. I hereby appoint you, Mr. Drummond, temporary honorary colonel in the state militia.
Gentlemen, what can I say? It's not often in a man's life that he earns the exalted rank of temporary honorary colonel.
It will be made permanent, of course, pending the arrival of the governor's signature.
Thank you.
Let us proceed with the selection of the final juror.
Did your name and occupation?
I'm George Sillers. I work at the feed store.
Tell me, sir, would you consider yourself a religious man?
I guess I'm about as religious as the next man.
In Hillsborough, sir, that means a great deal. Do you have any children, Mr. Sillers?
Not as I know of.
Well, if you had a son or a daughter, what would you think if that sweet young child came home one day and told you that a godless teacher...
Objection. Your Honor, we're supposed to be choosing jury members. The defense is announcing the case by a witness even before the trial has even begun.
Objection sustained.
Mr. Sillers, do you have any personal opinion with regard to the defendant that might prejudice you on his behalf?
Case? I don't hardly know him. Bought some Piedmont with Musselins. Paid his bill.
Mr. Sillers impresses me as an honest, God-fearing man. I accept him.
Thank you, Colonel Brady. Colonel Drummond?
Mr. Sillers, you just said you were a religious man. Now tell me, do you work at it very hard?
Well, I'm pretty busy down at the feed store, so my wife takes care of the religion for the both of us.
So in other words, you take care of this life and your wife takes care of the next one?
Objection?
Objection sustained.
While your wife was tending to the religion, Mr. Sillers, did you ever happen to bump into a fellow named Charles Darwin?
Not till recent.
From what you've heard about this Darwin, do you think that your wife would have him over for a Sunday dinner?
Your Honor, my worthy opponent from Chicago is cluttering the issue with hypothetical questions.
I'm doing your job, Colonel.
The prosecution is perfectly able to handle its own argument.
Look, I've established that Mr. Shillers isn't working very hard at religion. Now, for your sake, I want to make sure he's working very hard at evolution.
I'm just working at the feed store.
This man's all right. Take a proxy, Mr. Shillers.
I'm not altogether satisfied that Mrs. Sillers will render it partial.
Out of order. The prosecution has already chosen this man.
I want a fair trial.
So do I.
Unless the state of mind of the members of the jury conforms to the laws and patterns of society.
Conform. What do you want to do? Run the jury through a meat grinder to the old house saying,
I've seen what you can do to a jury. Twist and tangle them. Nobody's forgotten the Anticon publishing case where you made the jury believe the obscenity was in their own minds and not on the printed page. It was immoral what you did to that jury, tricking them judgment by confusion. Think you can get away with that here?
look, all I want to do is prevent you clock stoppers from dumping a load of medieval nonsense into the United States Constitution.
This is not a federal court.
Well, damn it, you've got to stop it somewhere.
Gentlemen, you are both out of order. The bench holds that the jury has been selected. Because of the lateness of the hour and the unusual heat, court is adjourned until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Oh, the Reverend asked me to make this announcement. There will be a prayer meeting tonight on the courthouse lawn to pray for justice and guidance. All are invited.
Your Honor, I object to this commercial announcement.
Commercial announcement.
For Reverend Brown's product, why don't you hold that there will be an evolutionist meeting?
I have no knowledge of such a meeting.
That's understandable. It's bad enough that everybody coming into this courtroom has to walk under a sign that reads, "Read your Bible." Your Honor, I want that sign taken down, or else I want another sign just as big letters reading, "Read your Darwin."
That's preposterous.
It certainly is.
Colonel Drummond, you are out of order. The court stands recessed.
Mr. Drummond, you've got to call the whole thing off. Bert knows he did wrong. He didn't mean to, and he's sorry. Now, why can't he just stand up in front of everybody and say, I did wrong, I broke the law, I admit it, and I won't do it again. Then they'd stop all this fuss. Everything would be like it was.
Who are you?
I'm a friend of Bert's.
How about a boy getting cold feet?
I never thought it would be like this, like Barton and Baby coming to town.
I'll change your plea. You want to quit?
Yes.
People look at me as if I was a murderer. Worse than a murderer. That fellow from Minnesota who chopped up his wife. The whole town showed up to see him from the train. You remember? They just looked at him as if he was a curiosity. Not like he'd done anything wrong, not like they hated him. He was just different.
There's nothing very original about murdering your wife.
The people I thought were my friends look at me now as if I had horns growing out of my head.
Look, you murder a wife. It is not nearly as bad as murdering an old wife's tale. You mess with one of their fairy tale notions and they bring down the wrath of God, Brady, and the state legislature.
You make a joke out of everything. You seem to think it's so funny.
Lady, when you lose your power to laugh, you lose your power to think straight.
Mr. Drummond, I can't laugh.
Good, you'd be a damn fool if you weren't.
You're supposed to help Bert, but every time you swear, you make it worse for him.
Look, I'm sorry if I offended you, but I don't swear just for the hell of it. You see, language is a poor enough means as it is, and we've got to use every word that we've got. Besides, there are damn few words that everybody understands.
You don't care anything about Bert. You just want a chance to make speeches against the Bible.
I care a great deal about Bert. I care a great deal about what Bert thinks.
Well, I care about what the people of this town think of him.
Can you buy back his respectability by making him a coward? Look, I understand what Bert's going through. It's the loneliest feeling in the world. To find yourself standing up when everybody else is sitting down, to have everybody look at you and say, what's the matter with him? No, I know that feeling. Just walking down an empty street, listening to nothing but the sound of your own footsteps, shutters closed, blinds drawn, doors locked against you. You aren't sure if you're just walking towards something, if you're just walking away. Bert, I'll change your plea under one condition. If you honestly believe that you committed a criminal act against the citizens of this state and the minds of their children, if you honestly believe that you're wrong and the law is right, then the hell with it. I'll pack my grip and go back to Chicago where it's a cool 100 in the shade.
Bert knows he did wrong, don't you, Bert?
Don't prompt the witness.
What do you think, Mr. Drummond?
I'm here. That tells you what I think. Well, what's the verdict, Bert? Want to find yourself guilty before the jury does?
No, sir, I'm not gonna quit.
Bert!
We wouldn't do it even now anyhow. You say buy me rates, well, we can fight it out.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
What's the matter?
I don't want to do it, Bert, but Mr. Brady
What
says
does Brady say?
they want me to testify against Bert.
You can't.
I don't mean to rush you, Bert, but we got to close up shop.
Grace, some of the things I've taught you about are just things you say to your own heart. Don't you understand things that I've said to you softly in the dark, trying to figure out what the stars are for? What's on the dark side of the moon? They were questions, Grace. I was asking questions. And if you repeat those things in the witness stand, Brady will make them sound like answers, and they'll crucify me.
Who are you, Rachel what?
Rachel Brown. Can they make me testify?
I'm afraid so. It'd be nice if nobody had to make anybody do anything, but don't be afraid of Brady. He only seems to be bigger than the law.
It's not Mr. Brady. It's my father,
Who's your father?
the Reverend Jeremiah Brown. I remember feeling this way when I was a little girl. I would wake up at night, terrified of the dark. It would feel as if my mattress was on the ceiling and the whole house was upside down. And if I didn't hang on, I might fall outward into the stars. I wanted to run to my father, to have him tell me that I was safe, that everything was okay, but I was always more afraid of him than I was of falling. It's the same way now.
Is your mother dead?
I never knew my mother. Is it true? Is Bert wicked?
Bert Cates is a good man, maybe even a great one. It takes strength for a woman to love such a man who's a pariah in the community.
I'm only confusing Bert. He's confused enough as it is.
Look, the man who has everything figured out is probably a fool. College examinations notwithstanding. It takes a very smart fellow to stand up and say, I don't know the answer.
What are we gonna do about this time?
People don't run this town. Leave it up.
And I hope you will tell the readers of your newspapers that here in Hillsborough we are fighting the fight of the faithful throughout the world.
A question, Mr. Brady.
Certainly. Where are you from?
London, Reuters News Agency.
Excellent. I have many friends in the United Kingdom.
What is your personal opinion of Henry Drummond?
I'm glad you asked me that. Because I want people everywhere to know that I bear no personal animosity toward Henry Drummond. There was a time when we were on the same side of the fence. He gave me active support in my campaign of 1908, and I welcomed it. But I say that if my own brother challenged the faith of millions, as Mr. Drummond is now doing, I would oppose him still. I think that's all for the evening. Ms. Horvath, my clicking service is sent me some of your dispatches.
How flattered to know me, please.
It grieves me to read reporting that is so biased.
I'm no reporter, Colonel. I'm a critic.
Well, I hope you will stay for Reverend Brown's prayer meeting. It might bring you some enlightenment.
It may. I'm here on press pass and I don't intend to miss any part of the show.
Good evening, Reverend. How are you, brother?
The Reverend Brown was good enough to escort me.
I'm looking forward to your prayer meeting, Reverend.
You will find our people are fervent in their belief.
It's warm, man. These night rings can be treacherous, and you know how you conspire.
Well, there's always a word about my program.
I always like to be at my meetings at the time announced.
Most commendable. Proceed, Reverend. After you.
Brothers and sisters, I come to you on the wings of the word. The winds of the word are beating loud in the treetops. The Lord's word is howling in the wind and flashing in the belly of the cloud. I hear it, Reverend. I see it. And we believe the word. We believe the truth of the word. Hearken to the word. The word tells us that the world was created in 7 days. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void. And the Lord said, let there be light. And there was light. And the Lord saw the light, and the light saw the Lord. And the light said, am I good, Lord? Amen. And the Lord said, thou art good.
And the evening and the morning were the first day. Amen.
And then the Lord said, let there be firmament. And even as he spoke, it was so. And the firmament bowed down before the Lord and said, am I good, Lord? And the Lord said, thou art good.
And the evening and the morning were the second day. Amen. Amen. Glory.
And on the third day brought he forth the dry land, and the grass, and the fruit tree. And on the fourth day he made the sun, the moon, and the stars, and he pronounced them good.
Amen.
And on the fifth day he peopled the sea with fish, in the air withal, and made he great whales, and he blessed them all. But on the sixth day, the Lord rose, and his eye was dark, and a scowl lay across his face. Why? Why was the Lord troubled? Why? He looked about unto the Lord, and all his handiwork bowed down before him. And he said, it is not good, it is not enough, it is not finished. I shall make me a man.
Bow down before the Lord.
Are we good, Lord? Are we good?
Yea, thou art good, for I have made thee in my image, in my likeness. Go forth, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it.
God made man the master of the earth.
Do we believe? Yes! Do we believe the word? Yes! Do we believe the glory of the word? Yes! Do we curse the man who denies the word? Yes! Do we cast out the sinner in our midst? Yes! Do we call down hellfire on the man who has sinned against the word? Yes! O Lord of the tempest and the thunder, O Lord of righteousness and wrath, we pray that thou will make a sign unto us. Amen. As thou didst on thine enemies of old in the days of the Pharaohs. Let them feel the terror of thy sword for all eternity. Let us so rise in anguish and damnation. And Lord, we call down the same curse on those who ask forgiveness for this sinner, though they be blood of my blood and flesh of my flesh.
Reverend Brown, I know that the great seal of your faith, which makes you utter this prayer, but it is possible to be overzealous, to destroy that which you hope to save so that nothing is left emptiness. Remember the wisdom of Solomon in the book of Proverbs. He who troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. My friends, return to your homes. The blessings of the Lord be with you all.
Amen. Good night.
What happened between us? There used to be a mutuality of understanding, admiration. Why is it, my old friend, that you have moved so far away from me?
All motion is relative. Perhaps it is you who have moved away by standing still. Where the hell did she come from? Who? Miss Cain. Cain's wife. If in the beginning there were only Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, where did this extra woman spring from? Ever figure that out?
No, sir. I will leave the agnostics to hunt for her.
Never bothered you?
Never bothered me.
Never tried to find out?
Nope.
Figure somebody pulled up another creation over in the next county?
The Bible satisfies me. It is enough.
It frightens me to imagine the state of lording this world would be in if everybody had your driving curiosity. Now, this book goes into a lot of begats. And Apraxid begat Sala, and Sala begat Ever, and so on and so on. These pretty important folks,
They are the generations of the holy men and women of the Bible.
how do they go about all this begatting?
What do you mean?
I mean, do people get themselves begat in the same way they get themselves begat today?
The process is about the same. I don't think your scientists have improved it any.
You say that all these holy people got themselves begat through the normal biological function known as sex. What do you think of sex, Colonel Brady?
In what spirit is this question asked?
I'm not asking what you think of sex as a father, as a husband, or as a presidential candidate. You're up here as an expert on the Bible. What is the biblical evaluation of sex?
It is considered original sin.
And all these people got themselves begat through original sin. All this sinning make them any less holy?
Your Honor, where is this leading us? What does it have to do with the state versus Bertram case? Colonel Drummond, the court must be satisfied that this line of questioning has some bearing on the case.
You ruled out all my witnesses. I must be allowed to examine what witness you've left me in my own way.
Your Honor, I am willing to sit here and endure Mr. Drummond's sneering and his disrespect, for he is pleading the case of the prosecution by his contempt for all that is holy.
Objection, objection, objection!
On what grounds? Is it possible that something is holy to the celebrated Gothic?
Yes, the individual human mind. In a child's power to master the multiplication table, there was more sanctity than all your shouted, Amen's holy holies and hosannas. An idea is a greater monument than a cathedral. Man's advancement of knowledge is a greater miracle than any sticks turned to snakes or the parting of waters. But must we halt this march of progress now because Mr. Brady frightens us with a fable? Gentlemen, progress has never been a bargain. You've got to pay for it. Sometimes I believe there's a man behind a counter who says, all right, you can have a telephone. We have to give up privacy, the charm of distance. Madam, you may vote, but at a price. You lose the right to retreat behind a petticoat or a powder puff. Mister, you may conquer the clouds, but the birds will lose their wonder. The clouds will smell of gasoline. Darwin moved us forward to a hilltop, for where we can look back from whence we came. But for this view, this insight, this knowledge, we must abandon our faith for the pleasant poetry of Genesis.
We must not abandon faith. Faith is the important thing.
Then why did God plague us with the right to think, Mr. Brady? Why do you deny the one faculty which lifts man above all other creatures on this earth? His power of his brain to reason. What other merit have we? The elephant is larger. The horse is stronger and swifter. The butterfly more elegant. The mosquito more prolific. Even the simple sponge is more durable. Or does a sponge think?
I don't know. I'm a man, not a sponge.
Do you think a sponge thinks?
The Lord wishes a sponge to think, it thinks.
Does man have the same privileges that a sponge does?
Of course.
This man wishes the same privileges as a sponge. He wishes to think.
But your client is wrong. He's deluded. He has lost his way.
It's sad we aren't given your positive knowledge of right and wrong, Mr. Brady. How old do you think this rock is?
I'm more interested in the rock of ages than I am in the age of rocks.
Dr. Page of Oberlin College tells me that this rock is at least 10 million years old.
Well, Colonel Drummond, you managed to sneak in some of that scientific testimony after all.
Look, these are fossil remains of prehistoric marine creature which was found in this very county, which was here when these very mountain ranges when it was submerged in water.
I know. The Bible gives a fine account of the flood. But your professor is a little mixed up on his dates. That rock is no more than 6,000 years old.
How do you know?
Bishop Usher, a fine biblical scholar, has determined for us the exact date and hour of the creation. It occurred in the year 4004 BC.
That's Bishop Usher's opinion.
It is not an opinion. It is literal fact which the good bishop arrived at through careful computation of the ages of the prophets as set down in the Old Testament. In fact, he determined the Lord began the creation on the 23rd of October in the year 4004 BC at 9 a.m.
That Eastern Standard Time? Or Rocky Mountain Time? It wasn't daylight saving times, was it? Because the Lord didn't make the sun until the 4th day.
That's correct.
The first day. Was it a 24-hour day?
The Bible says it was a day.
There wasn't any sun. How do you know how long it was?
The Bible says it was a day.
A normal day? A literal day? A 24-hour day?
I do not know.
What do you think?
I do not think about things that I do not think about.
You ever think about things you do think about? Colonel Brady, isn't it possible that the first day recorded in the book of Genesis is 25 hours long? There's no way to measure it, no way to tell. Could it have been 25 hours?
It is possible.
Oh. You interpret that the first day recorded in the book of Genesis is of indeterminate length.
No, I need to state that the day referred to is not necessarily a 24-hour day.
It could have been 30 hours, or a month, or a year, or 100 years, or 10 million.
I protest. This is not only irrelevant, immaterial, it is illegal. I demand to know the purpose of Mr. Drummond's examination. What is he trying to do?
I'll tell you what he is trying to do. He wants to destroy everybody's belief in the Bible and in God.
You know that's not true. All I want to do is prevent you bigots and ignoramuses from controlling the United States education, and you know it.
How dare you attack the Bible?
Order here.
The Bible is a book. A good book. But it's not the only book.
It is the revealed word of the Almighty. God spake to the man who wrote the Bible.
How do you know that God spake to Charles Darwin?
I know, because God tells me to oppose the evil teachings of that man.
Oh. God speaks to you.
Yes.
He tells you exactly what's right and what's wrong.
Yes.
And you act accordingly?
Yes.
So you, Matthew Harrison Brady, through oratory legislation or whatever, pass along the revealed word to the world. Gentlemen, meet the prophet from Nebraska.
Please.
Is that the way of things? God tells Brady what is good. To be against Brady is to be against God.
No. Each man is a free agent.
What is Bertram Case doing in Hillsborough jail? Mr. Brady, what if Bert Case had enough lung power to railroad himself to the state legislature? A law that only Darwin can be taught in the schools.
Ridiculous. There is only one great truth in the world.
The gospel according to Brady. God tells Brady what is good and Brady acts accordingly. Brady. Almighty.
The Lord is my strength.
What if a lesser human, being a Howard or a Case, has the audacity to think that God might whisper to him? Then on Brady might God still be holy? Must men go to prison because they're at odds with themselves? Extend the Testaments. We shall have a book of Brady. Next the Pentateuch. We shall slip you in nearly between Numbers and Deuteronomy.
Your Honor, my followers, ladies and gentlemen,
the witness is excused.
All of you know what I stand for. What I believe in the truth of the book of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings,
The Testament, the witness is excused.
Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Haggai, Malachi. They're laughing at me, Mother.
No, Matt. No, they're not.
But I can't stand it when they laugh at me.
It's alright, baby. It's alright. Babe.
that odor. I'll miss Hillsborough, especially this courthouse. A melange of Moorish methods. It must have been designed by Congressman.
Mr. Drummond, what's gonna happen?
What do you think's gonna happen, Bert?
Do you think they'll send me to prison?
They could.
They don't ever let you see me outside, do they? I mean, you can just talk to a visitor through a window like you show in movies, right?
Oh, it's not all that. You see, when they started this fire, they never knew it would light up the whole sky. A lot of people's shoes are getting hot, but you can't be too sure.
He seems so sure. Seems to know what the verdict's gonna be.
Nobody knows, but I've got a pretty good idea. You see, when you've been a lawyer as long as I have, 1,000 years, more or less, you get it so you can spell the way a jury's thinking.
What are they thinking right now?
Someday I'm gonna have an easy case, an open and shut case. I've got a friend up in Chicago, big lawyer. Oh, how the money rolls in. You know why? Because he never chooses a case unless it's a for sure thing, like a jock who won't go in a race unless he's riding the favorite.
You sure picked a long shot this time, Mr. Drummond.
See, sometimes I think the law is like a horse race. Some days I ride like Fury, and others, well, may as well be on a merry-go-round or a rocking horse or golden dancer.
What did you say?
It's the name of my first long shot, Golden Dancer. He was in the big sign window in Wakeman, Ohio. I used to stand out on the street and say to myself, if I had Golden Dancer, I had everything in the world that I wanted. See, I was 7 years old and a very fine judge of rocking horses. He had a bright red mane, blue eyes, gold all over with purple spots. And when the sun hit her stirrups, she was a dazzling sight to see, but well, she was a week's wages for my father, so Golden Dancer and I always had a plate glass window between us. It wasn't Christmas. Must have been my birthday. I wake up in the morning, see Golden Dancer at the foot of my bed. Mom had skipped on the groceries and Dad had worked nights for a month. I was so happy I jumped on the Golden Dancer and it broke. It split in two. The wood was rotten. It was put together with nothing but spit and sealing wax. Bert, you see something bright, shiny, gold all over with purple spots. Look behind the pane. And if it's a lie, show it up for what it really is.
I think this is the best place to put it. That's all right with you, Your Honor.
There's no precedent for this sort of thing.
You do understand we're making history here today. This is the first time a public event has ever been broadcast.
Well, I'll allow it, provided you don't interfere with the business of the court.
Mark, I gotta talk to you. This wire just came in and the boys over at the state capitol are getting pretty worried about how things are going, and newspapers all over are raising such a hullabaloo. And besides, November ain't too far off, and it wouldn't do us no good to get the voters all steamed up, so it wouldn't do no harm to just let things simmer down. But go easy, girl.
Testing.
What's that?
An annunciator.
What, a broadcast?
We have a direct wire to WGN Chicago. As soon as the jury gets in, we'll announce the verdict.
Radio. God, this is going to break down a lot of walls.
You aren't supposed to say God on the radio.
Why the hell not?
You aren't supposed to say hell either.
This is going to be a barren source of amusement.
Can one speak into either side of this machine?
Yes, sir, either side.
Well, kindly signal me while I'm speaking if my voice does not have sufficient projection for your radio apparatus.
Everybody rise. Hear ye. The court will now reconvene in the case Bertram Cates versus the state.
The judge has just taken the bench, and in a couple minutes, we will know whether Bertram Cates will be found innocent or guilty.
Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a decision?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
The jury's decision is unanimous. Bertram Cates is found guilty as charged.
Stuck right up to the Middle Ages. You only thought you missed the coronation of Charlemagne.
This court is still in session. The prisoner will rise to hear his sentence. Bertram Cates, I hereby sentence you.
Your Honor, a question of procedure.
Well, sir.
Is it not customary in this state to allow the defendant to make one last statement before the sentence is passed?
Colonel Drummond, in the confusion, I've neglected. Mr. Cates, if you wish to make a statement before your sentence is passed, why, you may do so now.
Your Honor, I am by no means a public speaker. I do not have the eloquence of the people that you've heard the past few days. I'm just a school teacher. I was a school teacher. And I feel that I have been convicted of an unjust law. And I will continue, as I have in the past, to oppose this law in any way that I can.
Bertram Cates, this court finds you guilty of violating Public Act number 37, statute number 31428 as charged. Violation of this act is punishable by fine and/or imprisonment. But because there has been no previous violation of this statute, there is no precedent to guide the bench in passing sentence. Therefore, this court deems it proper to sentence Bertram Cates to a fine of $100.
Did Your Honor say $100?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Your Honor, the prosecution takes exception where issues are so titanic, a more drastic punishment must be meted out to make an example of this transgressor, to show the world.
Just a minute. The amount of the fine is of no concern to me. Bertram Cates will not be paying this or any other fine, even if for just a single dollar. We will appeal the final decision to the Supreme Court of this state. Will Your Honor grant us 30 days to prepare for our appeal?
Granted. Court fixes bond at $500. This seems to conclude the business of the trial. Therefore, I declare this court is adjourned.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I should like to read into the record a few short remarks which I have prepared.
Mr. Brady may make any remarks he likes, long, short, or otherwise, in a Chicago lieutenant or a political campaign. But the business here in Hillsborough is completed. The defense holds that the court shall be adjourned.
But I have a few short remarks.
And we are all interested to hear them, Colonel Brady, but Colonel Drummond's point of procedure is well taken. Therefore, I declare this court is adjourned, signed that.
I ain't sure, but it's all over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to hear a few short remarks from Colonel Brady, who wishes to address you. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Colonel Brady has a few remarks which I'm sure will interest you all.
My followers and friends of the unseen audience. From the hallowed hills of sacred Sinai, in the days of remote antiquity, came the law which has been our bulwark and our shield. Age upon age, men would look to the law as they would look to the mountains whence cometh our strength. And here in this courtroom...
Colonel Brady, could you please point more in the direction of the enunciator?
As they would look to the mountains whence cometh our strength. And here in this courtroom, we have seen vindicated.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program director in Chicago has advised us that our time here is completed. We will now return you to our studios and matinee musicale.
From the hallowed hills of sacred Sinai.
Look at him!
Matt, get a doctor! Room, get in room.
Hey, Bill, let the press read the doctor.
Mr. Chief Justice, citizens of these United States, during my term in the White House, I pledge to carry out my program for the betterment of the people of this country. I say without sin.
That was one hell of a show. Goodbye. quickly they return. How painful it must be when you least expect it. I wonder what it feels like to be almost president 3 times and have a skull full of inauguration speeches.
Something happens to a feet of a man who always comes second in the foot race. He becomes a national unloved child, a balding orphan, an aging adolescent who never got the biggest piece of candy. Children of all ages insinuate themselves into spotlights and retrogrades. They stand on their hands and wiggle their feet, spit pulpits with their pounding, their tonsils turn into organ pipes. Show me a shower, I'll show you an also ran. And almost was. I might have been.
See his face? He looks terrible.
I'm surprised no folks ain't killed over in the sea.
I'll give him an hour or so to sweat away the pickle and pumpernickel. Mount Brady will erupt again by nightfall, spouting lukewarm fire and irrelevant ash.
What's the matter, boy?
I don't know. Did I win or did I lose?
You won.
The jury found me.
What jury? 12 men? Millions of people reading their paper tonight that you smashed a bad law. You made it a joke.
What's gonna happen now? I haven't got a job and bet they won't even let me back in the boarding house.
Well, it's not going to be very church social for a while, but you'll live. And just know, while they're making you sweat, you've helped out the next fella.
What do you mean?
You really think that this kind of stuff is ever over? Tomorrow will be something different. Another man will have to stand up for what he believes in, and you've helped give him the guts to do it.
Mr. Meeker, don't you have to log in?
They fixed bail.
You don't expect a school teacher to have $500.
This fella here put up the money.
With a year of subscription to the Baltimore Herald, we give away at no cost or obligation a year of freedom.
Rachel,
Hello, Bert.
where are you going?
I'm not sure, but I'm leaving my father.
Rach.
Bert, it's my fault the jury found you guilty. Partly my fault. I helped. This is your book, Bert. I've read it all the way through. I don't understand it. What I do understand, I don't like. I don't want to think that men come from apes and monkeys, but I think that's besides the point.
That's right, that's besides the point.
Mr. Drummond, I hope I haven't said anything to offend you. You see, I haven't really thought much. I was always afraid of what I might think, so I found it safer not to think at all. But now I know. A thought is like a child inside our body. It has to be born. If it dies inside you, part of you dies too. Maybe what Mr. Darwin wrote was bad. Bad or good, it doesn't make any difference. The thoughts have to come out, like children. Some of them healthy as a bee plant, some of them sickly. I think the sickly ideas die mostly. Don't you, Bert?
Brady's dead.
I can't imagine a world without Matthew Harrison Brady.
Possibly, they say.
Matthew Harrison Brady died of a busted belly. You know what I thought he was? I know what you thought he was. Why should we weep for him? He cried enough for himself. The national tear duct from Weeping Water, Nebraska, who flooded the whole nation like a one-man Mississippi. You know, he was a Barnum Bumpkin, Bible-reading bastard.
You smart aleck. You have no more rights to spend on his religion than you do on my religion. Or my lack of it.
Well, you know, Henry Drummond for the defense, even of his enemies.
There was much greatness in this man.
Shall I put that in the obituary?
Write anything you damn please.
How do you write an obituary for a man who's been dead 20 years? In memory, M.H.B. Then what? Hail the apostle whose letters to the Corinthians were lost in the mail? 2 years, 10 years, 2 arrests will ask the guy who died here. Matthew Harrison, who did he say to the minister? It fits he delivered his own obituary. Must have one here somewhere. Ah! His book. Proverbs, wasn't it?
He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. and the fool shall be the servant to the wise in heart.
We're growing an odd crop of agnostics this year.
I'm getting damn tired of you, Hornbeck.
Why?
Because you never push an noun against a verb except if you're trying to blow up something.
That's typical lawyer's trick, accusing the accuser.
What am I accused of?
I charge you with contempt of conscience, self-perjury, kindness of forethought, sentimentality in the first degree.
Why? Because I refuse to erase a man's lifetime?
Be kind to bigot's weak, since Brady's dead, we must be kind. God, how the world is rotten kindness.
A giant once lived in that man, but that got lost. Because he was searching for God too high and too far away.
You fraud! You hypocrite! You're more religious than he was. Excuse me, gentlemen, I must get me to a typewriter and hammer out the story of an atheist who believes in God.
Colonel Drummond.
Bert, I'm resigning my commission in the state militia. I handed my sword.
Doesn't it cost a lot of money for an appeal? I couldn't pay for it.
I didn't come here to get paid. Oh, Bert, I better catch myself a train.
There's one out at 5:13. Bert, you and I can be on that train too.
I'll get my stuff.
I'll help you.
Keep up.